My dear brothers and sisters, we come to this fourth and final Sunday of Advent, and yet we are still afforded several days to make ready, to prepare, to really see if we have done everything the Lord has asked of us to make ourselves that worthy dwelling place for His Son come Christmas. In one of those rare happenings this year, with Christmas falling on a Sunday, we are afforded all 4 full weeks of the Advent season. There is no other time than this when we are given so much of the Advent journey, each day, step by step, to make ourselves truly ready, to make ourselves that worthy dwelling place. The irony is that when our Advent season is as long as it can possibly be, our Christmas season is the shortest it can be. But really, we are not making ourselves ready just for Christmas Day or just for 2 weeks out of the year. What our Advent season needs to become for us is twofold. Yes, we know that we're making ourselves ready to celebrate Christmas 2016. We have probably all in one way or another been making ready. Whether it's shopping and wrapping, baking and cooking, cleaning and decorating, all of us has done at least some of that to this point to make our homes ready, to show our friends and our families, our neighbors and passerbys that we are ready for the coming of Christ in Christmas 2016. But the second purpose, and perhaps the far more greater purpose of Advent, is to make ourselves ready for that second Christmas, that final coming, when the Lord will fulfill His promise and come back to us and gather us to Himself, when we will live forever in that Christmas joy because the Lord has been born to us and has gathered us to Himself for all eternity. We are not just making ready for 2 weeks. We're not just making ready for 1 day. We are truly preparing for an eternity. And what are the hallmarks then of that preparation? It's not just about how many cookies we can bake, how many gifts are under the tree, how many lights are on the tree, but it is, have we truly made our hearts a worthy dwelling place? Have we rid ourselves of whatever we have done to not love God or others as we should? Have we offered forgiveness as much as we have sought forgiveness? Have we truly put ourselves on that journey of faith? That journey of faith that we hear so well about in the gospel today, because for Joseph, this was perhaps the greatest journey of faith, to place his hope and trust and belief in God. Now, it's too easy these many years later to elevate Mary and Joseph to their rightful places in the church, but to strip them of their human concern, to strip them of their human knowledge, to strip them of all that they were part of. Mary, a 13 to 15-year-old girl, being told that although she had no relations with a man, she was chosen to become the mother of God's own Son. And Joseph, a young man himself, being told that it was okay to take Mary into his home, that this was all God's plan, that it was the power of the Holy Spirit that conceived a child in her. At any point, Mary and Joseph could have said no to God. They could have said no to His plan, but each of them placed their faith and hope and trust in Him. Today, Mary and Joseph's story in the gospel challenge us in our own journeys of faith. Even when things seem impossible, even when it can't possibly go that way, to place our trust and hope in God, to trust in His providential care, to trust in His journey that will lead us through this world into the kingdom of light and peace and happiness. That is truly the gift the Lord is seeking to give us at this coming season of Christmas. If our Advent journey hasn't been everything it should be to this point, the great gift of this longer Advent season is that we still have a few days left. We still have days to make ready, not just our homes, but our hearts. Not just to buy the perfect gift at the mall, but to give the perfect gift of forgiveness and reconciliation. May we truly make this a worthy season. And may we then come to bear witness to the birth of Christ, not just recalling that gift in this year, but recalling that great promise and hope for all eternity. May the Lord truly allow the light of his Son to shine in our hearts.